Let's have a look at the Mumbai Indians. Now, quite a few people have MI as their favourites to win the whole tournament. So let's have a look and see what we think. Now, there's one change to this squad, and that's injury has ruled out Ankaleka, unfortunately. Now, I'm sad about that because in some of my live streams earlier in the year, a few people in the chat were telling me that this guy is someone to keep your eye on. But unfortunately, we're not going to see him. MI haven't named a replacement yet. But let's have a look at what I think Mumbai's starting lineup is going to look like. Now, I'm not going to start at the top. I'm going to start with the one and only Jasprit Bumrah. And I don't think there's anywhere else you can start. I'm going to add to Jasprit Trent Boult and then another power play destroyer, Deepak Chahar. As a pace bowling lineup, that is so strong. With Chahar and Boult, you've got so much power play bowling that you don't need to use Bumrah in the power play at all. Maybe for one over at the end if you really want, but you could just leave him completely for 2 overs in the middle and 2 overs at the death. And I just don't know how you deal with that. He's such a cheat code in T20 cricket. If you're chasing and you know that there's 2 or even 3 overs of Bumrah in the future, you know that you need to be so far ahead of the run rate because you ain't scoring a lot off those overs. So this is a great lineup already. Now let's go back up to the top. Let's add in Rohit Sharma. Number 2 is a bit more of a question because Mumbai did pick up Quinton de Kock at the auction. I think, however, they're going to stick with Ryan Rickleton. He did a great job for Mumbai last year, and I think he gets the nod ahead of QDK. Let me know if you disagree with me. It's what the comments are for. Anyway, it's easy to slot in Sky at 3, Tilak at 4, Hardik at 5. One of my favourite players from last year's tournament, by the way, Namandir in at 6. By the way, if you didn't watch my Team of the Tournament video from last year's IPL, go and have a watch. Remind yourselves of some of the key performers from last year. Anyway, moving on. This is where things get interesting. We've used 2 overseas spots. We've got 2 left. And I'm going to pick someone that you're not expecting. I'm going to pick Ala Ghazanfar. And I'll tell you why. Just listen for a minute. Listen for a minute. Just look at the spinners that Mumbai have available. There's Mitch Santner. We're not talking about Will Jacks. This is a discussion about frontline spin bowlers. And Will Jacks is not one of those. I will not have it. But then look at the domestic spinners they have. Raghu Sharma, who's not really played in the IPL, and Mayank Markanday, who's not played much in recent years, and just doesn't look like a threat with the ball. So I think having a wicket taker spinner like Ghazanfar is so crucial for Mumbai Indians. It's a shame that Ghazanfar was injured and missed last year's tournament, but I think he's a good choice. He can also bowl a bit in the power play, so again, another reason that you can just leave those Bumrah overs for later by sneaking in an over or 2 of Ghazanfar in the power play, alongside Boult and Deepak. Now, that leaves us with problems, because now we have 2 positions, but only one of them can be overseas. And Rutherford, Jacks, Bosch, Santner all have such a strong shout for being in this side. Will Jacks with his World Cup performance, Mitch Santner as well seems to have unlocked a new level of his batting. Corbin Bosch was such a great addition to the MI unit last year, and Rutherford is in the form of his life. So which one am I picking? I'm picking Mitch Santner. You've already got enough pace from Chahar, from Boult, from Bumrah, from Hardik, that I don't think Corbin Bosch is as useful, but I think another spinning option, and this one a bit more defensive as well with Mitch Santner, I think he's my choice. And my God, it's a difficult decision. Will Jacks, the form he's in, and similarly with Shafane Rutherford. Anyway, we've got 1 spot left, so we need a domestic batter of some sort. And you could pick a few options. You could pick maybe a Raj Bauer. You could, here's a rogue idea, you could throw in Shardul Thakur just as some kind of rogue pinch-hitting machine. There was that one innings he played a few years ago that was something special. Was it for KKR? Anyway, I digress. The person I'm going to put in this lineup is Robin Minns. Maybe this is the year of Robin Minns. Maybe we see that potential that we heard so much about in years gone by. Now, there's one change that you could make, and that's maybe if you think Ryan Rickleton might not give you what you want, Robin Minns keeps wickets. So maybe you push Robin Minns up to open with Rowett, because Robin Minns is more experienced as an opener. And then that gives you the extra overseas spot to put in either a Will Jacks or, I think my choice would be Shafane Rutherford. So Minns to open with Rowett, and then you shuffle down Namandir and maybe Hardik to 6 and 7, and you slot Rutherford in at 5. That's an option. Also, with Chahar and his injury worries, Trent Bolt may be needing a rest, and then you can shuffle in Corbin Bosch or whatever. And Bumrah will probably be rested for some of these games. You've got Shardul to come in as an option. You've also got Ashwani Kumar, who's a great backup. He really had some strong performances in last year. Anyway, that's this lineup. That's the Mumbai Indians. What do you think of this lineup? Am I insane? Well, I probably am a little bit. But is this team selection insane? Let me know what MI side you think they should go in with. And do you think they're deserved favourites for this year's IPL? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, because we'll be here throughout the IPL doing fun things. I'll see you there.